What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here on a Monday night after the playoffs, after what has transpired for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. A lot of things to talk about tonight when it comes to firing coaches, who could be the next OC. Again, playoff talk, some breaking news, some JP Peterson here in the last 2 hours about Tampa Bay Rays baseball. So we'll get to some of that. But how do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them here on a Monday and Wednesday night on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television live here on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram Live, LinkedIn Live, Twitter. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. So want to get out to the comments here really quick, and then we'll get out to Harry the Greek. We'll start out with Joe Sway. As always, starting out the show on a negative note. You always got to love that. So now that football is over in Tampa, is it still the Bucs web, the football web, or the sports web? My guess is D, both A and B, and that's disrespectful to other sports that are in season. Well, listen, Bucs season, football season, it's never over here on the sports web, but we do talk about the Rays and hockey. I can't help it if you don't tune in when we talk about it. Sorry. Christopher Cole says, evening, Peter and the Greek. Evening to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Tim here. Good evening, Peter. Good evening to you, my friend. Let's go out to Chris Cole. Football is the top sport, so we're going to talk about it. Of course, Chris. That's what we do here on the show. What's up, PB? Daniels is the answer for the offense. Hopefully the line can get fully healthy. Let's go back to Parrish again. They're on YouTube. Again, YouTube Super Chats. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web. As always, on YouTube. And, of course, friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Go after Crosby. You already know the recipe. Absolutely agree with that. God, I hope the Falcons don't hire Hallball, because if they do, we will be third in this division for 5 years. I'm not ready to say that. Prove me wrong, Peter. I want to be proven wrong. Listen, I'm not here to prove you wrong. I'm not here to appease a single viewer. I know what the viewers like on this show. I know what they want to talk about. The phone lines are open. You guys want to talk about the Bucs? We talk about the Bucs. You guys want to talk about NFL playoffs? That's what we do on this show. Sorry. Let's see what's up. What's up with you? Brightside Broadway. Hey, Peter and Harry. We'll get him on here in just a moment. There are a lot of free agent linebackers this year as well. They said the Falcons middle linebacker, Caden Ellis. He's young and brings the heat. And let's go out to David Moser right there. Fire those cannons.
Fire the cannons.
Let's go out to the Greek himself. Let's see what he wants to talk about as we will get into once again, if you didn't hear, because it seems like we've been gone for a long time with all the moves the Bucs made. They fired their offensive coordinator in Josh Grizzard after one season in the NFL. They also fired their special teams coach in Thomas McGahee, Kevin Ross, and also defensive line coach Charlie Strong, quarterbacks coach Thaddeus Lewis. Also moving on here, Tom Moore and Nick Rapone, both retired. Moore, 87, has spent 62 years coaching, 48 of them in the NFL, winning 4 Super Bowl titles. So he is now going to be retired at this point. So lots of changes. And I guess the question of the night here for Bucs fans, was this the right move? Because it certainly looks like in 2026, Todd Bowles is going to be the defensive coordinator. Larry Foote and also George Edwards have been retained. So Bucs fans, what do you think about the coaching moves? Who should be the next offensive coordinator, as they're looking at candidates as we speak? And the last, not even a week now. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So let's go out to them. Here we go. Professional handicapper extraordinaire, and I know that he is on a high after watching that playoff game. Playoffs. Yes, playoff football is still going on, even without the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we're talking about the Green Bay Packers Chicago Bear game the other night. I know you're a happy person. What the hell is that right there that you got going on?
I feel bad for him.
Are you feeling bad for him? Yeah.
I feel so bad for them. We're going to have a party at the Greek's house next week. actually in the weekend, we're going to have a jersey burning ceremony.
A jersey burning ceremony. Okay.
And the oppression is dead. What, you don't like you don't like the Green Bay jersey? It's
I
nice,
mean,
isn't it?
I love Brett Favre. I mean, but I know you're not a Packer fan. I know you're not an Aaron Rodgers fan.
I just want to keep them nice and close. You know, Pete, I got to tell you, you heard the story about what happened after the game when they were interviewing Ben Johnson and he said, F the Packers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, supposedly, they've come up with 30,000 petitions to make Ben Johnson have a public apology about saying F the Packers. I'll tell you what, Green Bay, and I hope it reaches you up there in Wisconsin. Let me be really clear. When you get Aaron Rodgers to apologize for saying, I still own you and you're still my bitch, you'll get an apology then. Until then, sorry.
Well, nobody's getting any apology at all because, this is the National Football League, which means not for long. So congratulations to the Chicago Bears. And, of course, once again, Ben Johnson.
Now, you mind if I take this off? Because, honestly, I feel like I'm burning.
Let me
get off. I got something underneath it.
All right, I'm going to go back out to these comments here and see. Let's see. I could call, but you won't answer. I do have a Bucs point. Well, we always answer here on the show,
Hey,
but
buddy.
I know Joe Sway that, hey, I know Joe Sway when you call the show. Joe Sway, he has a problem with the show and the way it is. He wants to be.
What does he want to talk about? Baseball?
He wants to talk about baseball. Now, I will say
there's plenty of people to talk baseball with right now. In about another month, we can talk about it. Until then, talk to your girlfriend. Maybe she'll talk baseball with you.
Well, listen, we did have this breaking news from the great JP Peterson, which once again, in collaboration with this show, you can see and hear his show Monday through Friday from 10 a.m.
Yeah, what did JP say? I heard something about this. You were mentioning it. What happened?
As reported last week, employees are being informed of the imminent sale of the HCC property. And of course, the Rays hired a former airport executive and Joe Lapano as a consultant. Obviously, HCC is in play for many reasons, but getting the land essentially for free from the state is a huge get, and they will, and also help with the infrastructure. There you go. And here we go. Tampa Bay Sports Complex with the entertainment complex, retail, residential, and yes, a beautiful baseball stadium with a translucent roof. LFG, says JP Peterson. He'll have more on that tomorrow at 10 a.m. on all the great social media platforms. And on top of it, as somebody explained this to me off air, when a state institution like a college or a university is selling their property, it's under a different category to get approved quicker, not be subject to as many delays and red tape. So you go to another spot, it's not going to be that way. This is a bonus for the Rays to be able to get the land clearly, easily within a few months and start construction quicker. And then if you're surprised by this, I've always said, from the get-go that Major League Baseball, they knew the owners. The owners had political ties to Ron DeSantis. They knew that the owners could get this deal done, which is why the baseball team was sold in the first place. So if you're surprised by HCC, don't, because most likely it was a tryout. They did sell well. It's right in the heart of Tampa. It makes sense. So it looks like it's going to be HCC. That campus will have a new baseball stadium eventually, 2028, most likely 2029. So for Rays fans, there's your baseball talk. And last check, the Tampa Bay Lightning are beating the Philadelphia Flyers 4-1. Looks like they could extend that 9-game winning streak by your Tampa Bay Lightning. So there you go. There's your talk without Bucs talk. Oh, Joe Sway. You happy now? I hope you guys are happy. The phone lines are open if you want to talk about your Tampa Bay Buccaneers or anything else that was mentioned here on this program. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So let's talk about it. I know first and foremost, how you feeling about your Chicago Bears, because they were down 27-16. We're watching it on Saturday night.
21-3.
Going
into the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter. Going to the fourth, you're now 21-3.
It seemed like there was no hope in that game, but once again, Caleb Williams shows you. Listen, not the most accurate quarterback, but he could just make some throws that not any other quarterback can make, right?
Let me tell you something. That one throw that he made on 4th and 8, with a couple minutes to go in the game. The season was on the line,
Yep.
and he was being tackled. He's off balance, and he had to drop it into a basket in triple coverage. And Stephen A. Smith, and I don't listen to pundits that are out there, but
Mm.
it kind of caught my attention. And what the hell was it? Cam Newton. They were talking about it, and Cam Newton interrupted everybody, and he says, "No, that is how legends are made. That play right there." And you know what else he brought up? I didn't know this. What's the
That's
matter?
not good. Braden Point went down holding his knee in the Flyers Lightning game. Not good. So we'll update that situation. Anytime you're holding a knee, Blackjack, Braden Point right there could be hurt. So that could be an injury that could definitely hurt this Lightning team. They've already had multiple injuries, but they've definitely been the story in this young NHL season. Go ahead, keep on.
Hey, bro, can I ask you a question? Who is
Sure.
this clown?
I'll let Harry get off his football, then I'll call. Thanks for the breaking. You know who it is. It's Josue.
No, Josue, don't bother calling the show anymore, please. Don't. I don't want to talk to you. You want to call in here, call and talk to Peter. Don't call when I'm on here, okay? You're a little disrespectful. I throw a little pun at you. Do me a favor. Go have someone else buy you a beer and some chicken wings and whatever. But don't come around. You are not welcome when I'm on here. And I have that right. And Pete, if you want me to be in the show with you, you take his call, let me off, okay? The end.
Gotcha. I got you.
Sorry
No
about
problem.
that. I don't play those kind of games. Go talk baseball with someone who gives a shit. I don't. Not right now. It's playoff times. Anyway, Peter, you were asking me a question about the Bears. Something I found out that was really interesting about a particular quarterback. Did you know that he was touted #1 overall coming out of high school going into college? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
No, seriously, I didn't know that. And from what I understand, back in the Washington, D.C., he threw a pass apparently in a game very similar to the way he won these last couple of games for the Bears.
Right.
Then, when he went to college, he was playing behind Spencer Rattler. And by game 6, Spencer Rattler was being talked about being a Heisman Trophy winner. He supplanted him.
Yeah.
Then he moved on to go to USC to go actually win, not only to become a Heisman Trophy winner, and then to be the #1 overall pick. This kid
Sure.
has DNA in him. It's just unbelievable. Sorry, Sports Web guys.
Well, no, and again, we can talk playoff football, and we'll definitely do that. Do fail is out, Liam Cohen, because listen, and I kind of trolled some people on Facebook because all I heard from Bucs fans is how the Bucs should have hired Liam Cohen, how he turned around Jacksonville. Well, 13 wins, the division title, and then he is one and done.
And people think that you and I are sore losers because we were feeling bad. Yes, that's exactly what it is. I don't like Liam Cohen for just merely what he did to the Buccaneers. He got exactly what he deserved. Peter,
Yes.
are you feel bad about that?
Not at all. I don't feel
I
bad
don't.
about it at all.
I don't. What he did to our team here was just absolutely atrocious.
Yes.
What he did to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And I just say keep the same energy, because if you guys were all over Todd Bowles not winning playoff games, which, by the way, I get it. It's Liam's first year, but he's out in the first round. He hasn't won as many as Todd Bowles at this point. Just keep the same energy. The reason why you want Todd Bowles fired in the first place because his inability to win a playoff game, guess what? Your knight in shining armor, your savior of all the coaches out there, and Liam Cohen is out in the first round. Also, Dave Canales, he's out in the first round.
That's clearing up the suck right there.
Which
You know what, Pete? I got to be honest with you. I don't feel for Canales like I feel for Liam Cohen.
Right, because
At
he's
least
a slimy snake.
Yeah,
Right.
but Canales did it the right way.
Right.
Let's call it what it is. He had an opportunity. But if people are going to say, well, Liam Cohen had the same opportunity, not the way he did it, because people have a short memory. Liam Cohen told the Buccaneers organization, and he told the media, I'm going back to Tampa. I'll commit.
Yeah.
How much are you offering? No, seriously, Tampa, I'll be right. How much was it? Just a couple more million. I'll be right there. You said you're going to well, they're going to pay me this. See ya, Bucs. And that's exactly what he did. It was horrible how he handled that. And I picked against him anyway. Hey, Pete, talking about picks, did you know that out of the playoff games for college football and the playoff games for the NFL, between picking the spread and or the money line and the over-under, we started the weekend. I'm sorry, after Saturday night, we were 8 for 8, Pete.
And by the way, I benefited from some of that because
Yes,
I
you
took
did.
your advice on the
Yep.
Chicago Bears and on some other games. You were exactly right. You were the man this weekend.
8 for 8. And
Yes.
then I went, can't possibly roll into Sunday. I ended up 9 for 10 against the spread. I mean, it's hard enough just to pick winners.
Mm.
Okay, but let alone against the spread. I've only done that twice in 4 years. I've never been a perfect 10 for 10 against the spread. But man, that was a hell of a run. So what
Yes.
game did you like most this weekend? It could
I mean,
be college or whatever. Did you watch any of the college games?
I watched some of them. I'm not surprised by Indiana. I thought the Miami Ole Miss game was unbelievable. Very close. Kudos to Ole Miss with losing their coach and not falling apart. They gave Miami everything they could handle, and it certainly seems like right now Miami is a Cinderella story. But I think that story is about to end with the best, purely the best when it comes to all facets of the game: offense, defense, and special teams. Indiana Hoosiers, well coached. And again, led by Mendoza as the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I just can't. I get it. Miami's going to be in it. I just don't see how anybody's going to beat Indiana in the national championship game. Tell you what,
I got to agree with you.
Well, there you go. So that's always a good thing.
But I want to go back to that because there's something I did. What you got to call?
Yeah, I got a call. Let's go out to Ed. Ed, welcome to the Evolution.
Ed!
Hey, Peter and Harry.
Listen,
Ed, what's happening, buddy?
Congratulations on your run this weekend, bro.
Thank
Wow,
you, man.
I haven't done that. Seriously, it's only been a couple of times in 4 years I've ever done that. And I never usually pick that many games. I'll always give you like 4 or 5 games. And then you don't. That's why you're picking a 70% clip, because someone told me a long time ago in horse racing, you can beat a race, but you're not going to beat the races. You know, it's the same thing when you're handicapping football or sports or whatever. But thank you. I do appreciate it. That was quite fun. So what was your favorite game of the weekend or during the week? Was it the college football
games this weekend?
Nice.
You didn't watch any games.
Working, so I had to work all weekend. I didn't get a chance to watch any of the games. But I heard that my ex-wife, who I still talk to, by the way, you guys know she's a Chicago fan. And she happily filled me in on how Chicago played in the playoffs and how the Bucs aren't in the playoffs. So, yeah.
I got to be honest with you, man. That's something I really wanted to see was both my teams in the playoffs. I really wanted to see Tampa in there as well. And I have to be honest with you, they got hosed, but did they? All they had to do is just win one of those winnable games. They would have been there. Like run the ball against New Orleans in the Mud Bowl that I call out here in Tampa. Or, win a game and make some adjustments in Miami. But then they took care of business when they were supposed to. But how did Atlanta get involved in all this? Huh?
It's been a long time coming for you guys.
Well, I was going to say maybe that's the reason why she's your ex in the first place, because she wasn't a Bucs fan. So
that could be.
You guys met her. I brought her down there a few times to the restaurant. You guys,
I did. We did meet her. We met Ed and his wife over at the Deck Bar and Grill in Isla del Sol. And if you're watching at the Deck, we're still for hire.
Well, absolutely. We're always for hire, but we're also sponsored by Tampa Joe's. So we definitely got a partnership with them. 9316 Anderson Road, but there's always some open opportunities out there for other bars.
We always take
right.
We'll always take sponsors.
We also met her at Ducky's, her and him.
That's right. We did meet Ducky, and he was there the day that Fred McGriff was there when I introduced him to you.
You did. You absolutely.
You remember that?
I will never forget that day because I was a big Fred McGriff fan, man.
Oh yeah, and you're the one that pointed him out. He was like, "That's Fred McGriff."
All right, go ahead.
When I was a Rays fan when they had Fred McGriff, by the way, just so y'all know. But I haven't been a Rays fan since because they let him go. That's what the Rays do. They keep a good player for a couple of years and let him go. But anyways, reason why I'm calling is I'm really confused about this situation.
What are you confused about?
So they didn't fire Bowles, which I didn't think they were going to because they just gave him a contract extension. They're probably going to have a hard time getting that money back. So I kind of figured they would keep him under those circumstances, but they fired everybody else practically.
Correct. They did. Yes.
Well,
So
the key word is they haven't fired him. You forgot one word. Hang on. Ed, you forgot one word before you finished your sentence. They didn't fire Todd Bowles yet. That's all I'm going to say. The word is yet. Nobody publicly has come out and said his job is safe. Just throwing that out there.
Well, the Glazers haven't come out yet, but you assume, again, with everything that's going on, with all the hiring and firing of coaches and the interviews and everything like that, that they did give their seal of approval, but there has been nothing official at this point. As my mic seems like it's going out or something here. Stand by, Harry. Go ahead and take over this real quick. Go ahead.
Well, when I originally went on the show, I went on YouTube, and it was only showing the bottom part of Peter. I know that sounds kind of weird, but that's what I was seeing.
Well,
so then I switched over to Facebook.
You're on Instagram Live. That's why they're doing some.
It was on Instagram. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I can hear you, but Peter, that was kind of weird. Ed, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so you can hear me. Pete, I can hear you thumping your microphone. I don't think you're having any issues with your audio. I think your gain isn't up loud enough for you to hear it. So on your board, go ahead and turn up your earphones. That's all you got to do, because you're transmitting just fine. If anybody out there in the web heads couldn't hear Peter when he was talking, please go ahead and post something in the text.
I can definitely hear Peter.
I can hear Peter just fine. Peter was fine. I can still hear Peter because he's in the back room and you're plugged in through the telephone. But Peter, your mic is fine. So what was your point when you were talking about now? What were you saying now, Ed? Go ahead.
I'm just okay. So what is your scoop then that you think that they're going to fire Todd Bowles, and who are they going to replace him with, and who's going to be the new OC?
Okay, well, first things first. I don't know if they're going to fire anybody at this point. I would
turn your gain up, Pete.
Yeah, I'm.
No, all you got to do is turn your gain up. That's it.
How's that? Is that better?
One more time. Give me a check.
How's that? Is that good?
We can hear you just fine now.
Okay, good.
And you know what else I want you to do at the bottom of your channel? Were you on channel 1?
Yeah.
Turn the very bottom row. Just turn it up a little bit. Slide your thing up.
It is. I did.
It is? Okay,
yeah.
But I can hear you. Everybody can hear you just fine. Sorry about that, Ed.
It's just me. It's
okay.
Me.
So Harry's got me curious now. What does he know that I don't?
Well, I kind of know something that a lot of people don't know. I have a lot of connections, but they haven't. And again, this is just speculation. Okay.
Right.
The Glazers nor the general manager have publicly come out and said that Todd Bowles is safe. That's all I'm going to say. Until you hear them say that, I would not put it out of the realm of possibilities that this head coach is safe. And I'm going to explain why.
Well, usually when they fire the coach, it's after the Super Bowl. The Bucs have a history of that. So
they can. You're correct.
The Super Bowl comes, I don't believe.
But Ed, when there's so many people calling for one particular individual's head, and that is Todd Bowles, and usually that would spawn some kind of context or communication from the organization, and they are not doing that right now. They have been mum.
They did talk to somebody, didn't they? Didn't they talk to Josh McDaniels?
No.
I don't know who they spoke
to. Josh McDaniels?
I don't believe so.
Well, then it must have been some BS that I saw on Facebook.
Peter, change channels.
A lot of rumors flying around.
Yeah.
They're saying they're going to replace Bowles.
Whatever you did, it got worse. Change channels, Pete. Meanwhile, while we have some technical difficulties, I do have you, and we're live on the air with Ed. Ed, it's not that I know this to be for sure. I just been around on this earth, and the Lord has given me 59 years to be able to understand this. But when there's usually that much call for a head coach to be let go,
right,
they're going to make an announcement. Someone's going to go ahead and speak about it. and no one has. Pete, give me a test 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, testing. I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't know what's going on with my mic. It's not the mic. It's the channels. It's crazy right now.
No, now I can hear you better now.
Okay. All right. Good to go.
So, Ed, I hope that answers your question.
All right. I think Ed's gone at this point. So open phone lines.
What happened to
Ed? He left. He's gone at this point. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 at this point. Let's see. Let's go back out to these comments here. Let's go out to King Cook. What's good, Peter? Happy Monday, sir. Happy Monday to you.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Jeff here. Any info on the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator? Tell you what, let's go out to the phone lines here. We'll talk more about this. Let's go out to Trevor. Trevor, welcome to the Evolution.
How's it going, guys?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
What's up, Trevor? How are you?
Man, that was a thriller in Chicago the other night for you.
That's all I could tell you. Tampa Bay Ray, my wife, Peter, and I were sitting in the living room. And Peter, honestly, at no point until he threw the second pick that I went, this doesn't look good. Other than that, I said, the fourth quarter ain't here. Didn't I, Pete?
Yes, he did. Absolutely.
It was pretty thrilling. But you got to admit it, man. This Caleb Williams is something special.
He is. Absolutely.
He's a hell of a player. I'll give the devil his due. He's a hell of a player.
All right, so let me go and take a look at this because I put down some notes here on what the Bucs are looking at when it comes to offensive coordinators, and this is from J.C. Cornell of the Draft Network. Already they've interviewed, and Mr. Williams will have to give you a call back. Brian Callahan, former Titans head coach, also called plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. Zach Robinson, former Falcons.
I like Brian Callahan, by the way.
David Shaw, Lions passing game coordinator. Mr. Williams, please. I'll give you a call back in just a moment. Let me read these notes. And then Israel Wolfork, Cardinals quarterback coach. According to the Draft Network's Justin Mello, Todd Monken is the favorite.
I don't like that.
As Mr. Williams keeps on calling, as I tell him not to, but that's okay.
Harry.
Todd Monken's the favorite, and Tampa Monken was the Bucs OC from 2016 to 18. Coach Baker Mayfield in Cleveland and led Baltimore to a #1 offense in 2024. According to NFL's Rick Stroud, the Tampa Bay Times confirms the Bucs have big interest in Monken if he doesn't land a head coaching job. Now, of course,
why would they give him a head coaching job? Give me, what has he done?
Well, let me just finish this up because the reason why John Harbaugh, I'll tell you what, Trevor, hold on a minute. Let's go out to Mr. Williams. We'll put you on hold. Mr. Williams, go ahead. Go, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon. Yes, it's good afternoon. Yes. Good afternoon and good morning.
Right.
Go ahead.
All right. First of all, on to my books. All right. One thing we can say, Harry is right about something.
What's up?
That we don't know if Mr. Bowles is gonna be here in 26. But as of right now, I say in my heart that he's gonna be here. Hey, what's wrong with somebody mic or the channel or something? Cause it's static coming through my ear.
I don't know. It's got to be on there, but we appreciate the call, Mr. Williams. That was a great point.
Anything else, Mr. Williams?
But like I said, we are gonna hope that Todd do be here, but we do need a new offensive coordinator.
Well,
you're going to need one because they don't have one.
They don't have one because they fired Josh Grizzard at this point. So we're going to figure out what they're going to do when it comes to offensive
Trevor still on the other line?
Yes.
And they really needed to, but yeah, man. Hey, Peter, get that microphone out of there, man.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I say get your microphone out of there because it's in and out.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
I can hear it. Mr.
All right.
Williams, thanks for the
All
call,
right,
buddy.
good
Really,
boy.
seriously, you can use your second call on Wednesday. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, go ahead, Harry. I'm going to switch this again because I can't hear it and you can't hear it. It sounds
I
fine.
can hear it. It seems just fine. Trevor, you there, buddy?
Can you hear me, guys? Is my
Yeah, I can hear
mic
you.
going in and out, or is Mr. Williams playing around with me
I
here?
hear you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you.
Trevor, just out of curiosity, when you're talking or we're talking, are you getting an echo by chance?
No, I don't hear an echo.
See,
Okay,
I mean,
perfect. See?
I just think it's us. That's all.
I'd love to hear what Trevor says. He's pretty knowledgeable. Would you like to see a Munkin? I mean, because me personally, I wouldn't.
I would rather have Callahan, me personally.
Why
'Cause here's the
Callahan?
Yeah, because see, here's the thing. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I don't know, like some of these head coaches that are head coaches, they didn't pan out as head coaches, but they're brilliant coordinators. And I think Callahan's done some good work in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to see how he could, work with Baker and work with the weapons that we have offensively.
Right.
I'm eager to see what he could do with Bucky Irvin, Cade Otton, because some people don't like Cade Otton. I think he's a very underrated tight end. So I would be eager to see what he could do. I mean, I know a lot of people would probably want Todd Monken because of wasn't he the OC for Baltimore at one point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I get that, but also you have to look at it like, okay, Lamar Jackson has a different skill set than Baker does. You know what I mean? So when he, was the OC for Baltimore, he was more so catering to what Lamar did, and then I know he utilized the tight ends because Lamar likes throwing to his tight ends. We have all these receivers. You know what I mean? So I don't think that would coincide with what we would want because we need to utilize our talent at the receiver position because we have a lot of talented receivers. So I don't really think that would be a good match for our team offensively.
Right.
You know what I mean? So me personally, I would definitely like to see Callahan be our OC.
I got to agree with him, Peter. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Munkin, it really hasn't shown me anything creative other than pandering and catering to what Jackson does. And Jackson is a run-first quarterback. Then I don't really see anything super creative out of the passing game other than rolling them out and then looking 20 yards downfield. It's not open, and he just throws an underneath pass. I mean, there's no ingenuity there whatsoever, in my opinion. And, there's also been talk that people are enamored with Mr. Brian Daboll, the former offensive coordinator from the Buffalo Bills, who did such a great job with Allen, and then he failed as a head coach. And, Trevor, you made a mention that there's a lot of really, really great offensive coordinators that didn't pan out as a head coach. But I'll tell you why I don't like Brian Daboll. Because Brian Daboll ruined the New York Giants and Daniel Jones because he never believes in running anything more than a 5-man offensive line. Doesn't like to run a jumbo package, a 12 or a 13 personnel with 3 tight ends. He does none of that. Okay, so when you're facing defenses such as like the Houston Texans, for instance, or the Denver Broncos, you're going to get your quarterback killed every single time. He loves to spread things out. And I know that's a sexy thing to do when you have a mobile quarterback, okay, because it forces the DBs and the safeties and the linebackers to cover a lot more area. That would not be a good pickup, and he definitely wouldn't fit in this offense.
Well, I mean, that's been talked about. He was also coach of the year. Remember, he got Daniel Jones a new contract with the, 22 total touchdowns, I think 17 passing and 5 rushing.
What happened the year after? That's all I'm going to tell you when they figured it out.
True.
And Peter, you and I talked about this ad nauseum when he left him. I says, this is not a good addition or a pickup for the New York Giants because this guy refuses. I mean, absolutely refuses to run any kind of max protect, no matter what it is. And it's a shame.
Yeah, and Baker's too fragile to be in that style of offense because, as we just saw this past season, he got he got banged up quite a bit. And Baker is a competitor. So if he sees open lanes and there's no one open, he's going to run.
He's taking off.
The thing he has to work on is he don't slide. He'll try to run you over. And no disrespect to Baker, he's not big enough to do that. I'm
Nope.
sorry, he's just not.
And I'm sure everybody's going to agree with me, especially you, Trevor. I would like to have 5 Tristan Wirfs on my offensive line and let Baker have a nice little cozy bedroom to throw that ball from. Don't let him roam around outside that pocket and just let him start picking defenses apart. But the bottom line is he doesn't have that.
What about a Mike McDaniel? Because he just got fired from the Dolphins. You look.
I'm not high on him, man.
I mean, he could be out there, and Jeff Darlington keeps on hinting.
Don't laugh at me for the reason.
Go ahead, go for it.
Because he looks weird. I just don't want to see the guy in the sideline.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding.
You look at his offensive ranks, though.
Listen, I'm only kidding. The
Right.
guy can coach an offense, but he is kind of creepy. You know who he reminds me of? A little younger version of a Mark Trestman.
Kind of does, doesn't he?
Doesn't he? I mean, and Trestman gives you the EBGBs, man.
But here's the thing: he's great when it comes to creating, a run game because he was able to do that with A-Chain there with the Miami Dolphins. You look at his rank yards per game in 2022, 6, 2023, number 1, 2024, 18, and 2025, 26, whether it was injuries or not. Rushing yards per game, 2022, 25th, 2023, 6th. 2024, 21, and 2025, 13, and passing yards per game, 4th in 2022, 2023, 1st, 2024, 15th, and 2025, 25th. Also, a lot of Bucs fans would say, you know what, if the Bulls situation doesn't work out, that you would basically have a coach in waiting. A lot of people are looking at this from the standpoint of, why would he come here? Why would a coach come here? Why would a young mind come here? First, you can earn a head coaching job when it comes to offensive coordinators, because what we've seen from Dave Canales and, of course, Liam Cohen, even though a lot of Bucs fans feel like this is a lame duck situation, it's an opportunity to not only become a coach in the NFL, but maybe for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I tend, again, to be optimistic about this situation. A lot of people go, well, why? Because I think Bulls will get it together, and I think Jason Licht and this Bucs organization will go fully aggressive, especially when it comes to free agency and everything else. This is what they haven't been able to do. You need an edge rusher, you need a couple linebackers on that defense, and I think you fixed it. Now, when it comes to schematically, when you have new coaches, will that work out? That's my question for the night for you, Trevor. What did you think about firing all the coaches, but keeping a Todd Bowles as your defensive coordinator, because it looks like he's going to call plays in 2026, and then also a George Edwards and, of course, a Larry Foote?
As first firing all the coaches, I was definitely fine with them firing special teams coordinator. He needed to go during the season.
That was horrible.
And I mean, you already know how I think I told you guys last week that I wanted the OC to be gone.
Right.
But Jesus Christ, I didn't know he kind of went medieval on the defense. He fired with Charlie Strong, the DB's coach. Did he fire the linebackers coach?
He did not fire Foote.
I'd fire the janitor after watching that defense. The janitor, the water boy, the lawnmower people, the landscaping people, they'd all be gone.
Well, the point is, for a lot of Bucs fans, they don't understand why, once again, Todd Bowles keeps his job because the defense struggled, but also why do you have Larry Foote and George Edwards come back? I think that's a good point.
Right.
But I think these were the qualifications in order for Bowles to keep his job. These were the recommendations, if you will, not only from Jason Licht, but most likely the Glazers, in order for him to keep his job. So I
think the Glazers are waiting, in my opinion, to see what's going to happen.
Okay.
To see if any other head coaches are going to go. I think they're going to dip their toes in the water. I think they'll be fine if they end up wanting to keep Todd Bowles, but I do think they're actively pursuing. The reason why nobody's gotten any mention talking to Harbaugh, and for all the webheads are out there and all the Tampa Bay fans, don't get too excited because it's never going to happen with Harbaugh. If Harbaugh comes to Tampa Bay, you now have lost your general manager. The end. And they will break this team down completely. They are looking for somebody that's not going to cost a ton of money, who's going to come with a great experience, and to be able to guide this football team. And again, that's my own personal opinion. They're just waiting to see what happens in the rest of the playoffs.
Right. Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
All
And
right.
Now your microphone is strong.
Yes, it is. It's better now.
I'm glad that they definitely fired the DB's coach, because is it me? But it didn't matter who we had out there at corner or safety. There was always miscommunication amongst the DBs.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, like, part of the reason we gave up big plays is because of the lack of pass rush. But specifically that Miami game, you remember that bomb that rookie quarterback threw on us?
Yes.
That was just miscommunication.
The rookie quarterback that couldn't throw that bomb against a high school team. I remember that play really well.
In yours of Miami, McDaniel's offense, by the way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And see, the only thing I don't like about McDaniels is this. If he comes in, he becomes our OC, and he's successful, he's gone the very next year.
Mm-hmm.
We all know that. He's going to get another chance with another team somewhere else. I kind of want some stability at the OC position. But it's so freaking hard to hold on to these freaking coordinators when they're successful, though. So that's the biggest dilemma. So, like, if we're
that's a testament to your head coach.
Now, listen, let me ask you, fans out there, would you rather somebody that's a veteran like a Todd Monken who's called plays around the league, or would you like a mind like a Grant Yudinsky from the Jacksonville Jaguars, who not only is receiving attention as a head coach, getting interviews as a head coach, but also, possibly an offensive coordinator? Would you like to see someone like that, a Nate Shieldhouse from the Rams, from that Rams tree, from that McVay tree? Would you like somebody like that who's never called plays before in the NFL, young mind? Or would you rather have a veteran? At this point, I think you got to go with the veteran. I think you got to go with, somebody who's called plays. And I think that's the reason why the attraction is there for this Bucs organization when it comes to a Todd Monken, or of course, possibly a Mike McDaniel, or some, maybe even a Brian Daboll. Maybe that's a question. Maybe he's not a great head coach, but maybe he's a better offensive coordinator. I mean, and again, if it doesn't work out with Todd Bowles, which again, I'm going to say, I think it will. If it doesn't work out, then you basically clean house at this point. You've got a whole new coaching staff. You've got a whole new administration. You may not even have a general manager at that point.
That might still happen, Pete, depending on what happens after the playoffs. And if they still can, and I'm going to tell you again, it's not etched in stone that they're keeping Todd Bowles. Okay? They're not. I think it's not etched in stone.
Right. I think it's kind of
like all the
depends on who they bring into this organization. It's going to depend what they're going to do with the organization.
Yeah, I still think they're going to go with Todd Bowles. You don't fire all these coaches.
Oh, I do too.
Stranger things have happened when it comes to.
But I do too. But why no communication from the Glazers or the management?
Agree. I completely agree.
Just throwing that out there.
Really quick, Trevor, stand by here. This just sent to me. John Cooper is the 25th coach in NHL history to reach 600 wins. The Lightning have won. They beat the Philadelphia Flyers. Again, the longest Tampa Bay Lightning winning streaks. Get this: 11 games, 2019 to 2020. 10 games, 2018 to 2019. 10 games, 2019 to 20. And 10 games, once again, your Tampa Bay Lightning, 25 to 26. Bolts have a plus 26 goal differential during this winning streak. So congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning as they take care of business.
Let me be impressed when they go to the playoffs. That's what I want to see, because this organization in the past 20 years is arguably the best regular season team in hockey I've ever seen. For some reason, lately they get in the playoff, it's Chokeville.
Well,
please save it for the playoffs, guys.
Well, they've already won 2 Stanley Cups now. I'm
talking about the past 5 years. It's been kind of weird.
It's been tough. It's been tough with Florida, of course. Florida Panthers. You haven't been able to get over the top there. They've had their struggles, but once again, going back to it, and Trevor, you can go ahead and talk about this. There were fan bases here that said John Cooper should be fired because he couldn't get through the first round because he was swept in the first round. And again, this is what it comes back to when it comes to Todd Bowles. I get it. The record necessarily isn't there, but you've won division titles. You keep that continuity. You keep that in place, and you never know what can happen and how it can turn around. And we'll see if it can turn around in the Bucs' favor at the end of the day. What else, Trevor?
I was just going to say to the Greeks' point about potentially not keeping Todd Bowles. Here's the thing. none of the teams that fired their coaches have hired anybody yet. And I get it. Like it usually takes like maybe a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all these teams that are looking for coaches, they're kind of it's like they're playing chess right now. They're waiting to see what the other team's going to do. They're or maybe they're counter offering these teams and everything. And so I would not be surprised if something comes up where they're like, okay, we have to make this move because we feel like X person could come in here and really turn this thing around and take us back to being contenders again. It would not surprise me. I know, the Glazers are kind of, class personified and everything and all that. And I'll give them that. But at the end of the day, because y'all watched that the documentary Raise the Flags.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I learned about the Glazers,
That was a great
we're
documentary.
gonna win some damn games.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so I'm not saying that we won't keep Todd Bowles, but I'm not getting rid of him off the table yet. Who knows? Because here's the thing, and I'll say this and I'll get off.
Yep.
The bottom line is this: I trust Todd Bowles. If he stays, he's gonna fix this defense. If Jason Light will give him the free agents he needs and he drafts well, I do think the defense will be fixed. He damn well better fix the offense, meaning he better find the right OC, because if he doesn't and we miss the playoffs, or even if we're one and done in the playoffs next year, he's gone. So I think he really has to hit this OC position out the park, or it might cost him his job, even regardless if they fix the defense or not.
Give us a player that you really, really like. Not a player. Give us a coach or a candidate that you would like to see as an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I'll throw it out there for you. Zach Robinson, the former Atlanta Falcons. He worked with, of course, Sean McVay there with the Rams. It seems like the flavor of the day. Mike McDaniel, we talked about Miami. Brian Daboll, a younger guy that hasn't necessarily called plays. What are you looking at? Todd Monken, who's been, once again, on this staff in 16 and 18. Seems like the Glazers favor him. The reports are that they favor him. He's worked with Baker before. Do those hires? What hire would you make, Trevor, when it comes to this offense?
Obviously, I like Callahan, but if I would like to have McDaniels, but the only issue with McDaniels, I don't know why I can't talk tonight, but
it's all right. It's Mike McDaniel. Everybody wants to say Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. Right, it's Mike McDaniel.
Patriots, yeah. But the only thing about him is I know if he goes in and does an outstanding job, he's gone.
Yes.
And then we're right in the same position next year. And so that kind of, turns me off as far as him being our OC, because it's basically like if he does well, he's like a 1-year rental. You know what I mean? Because as soon as he fixes our offense, he's gone. And I think he's interviewing for the Cleveland Browns job too.
He is interviewing for a head coaching job. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
So, of course, he's probably going to be more interested in that first. He's going to at least hear what Cleveland has to say and then go from there.
I want to read what Jeff Darlington said. Trevor, appreciate the call. As always, use the second one if you want to, my friend.
Thanks, Trev.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. I think I got my – yes, he is. Very knowledgeable. Sorry we cut him off. Thanks a lot, Mr. Williams, for calling in. This is what Jeff Darlington had to say today. When it comes to Mike McDaniel, I wouldn't read too much into his interview schedule. He's talking to 3 teams today, 1 team each of the next 3 days, and it's possible 3 other OC jobs open up. That's 9 potential teams. The point is, aside from the can't turn down offer, he liked to assess all options and then decide. So if you don't see the team on the reported list, Bucs cough, that's what Darlington says. Don't overthink it. Everyone is still in play. He just doesn't currently see a reason to rush. Which, if you have all that interest at the end of the day, whether it's for a head coach or an OC, and you kind of wonder with a guy that's just being fired as a head coach, do you want to jump in and be a head? I guess if somebody's willing to pay you the money, like the Cleveland Browns, of course you're going to listen and take that head coaching job. Even though for me, it's like walking in or walking on the Titanic at this point, because that's where quarterbacks go to die. And furthermore, that's the reason why you don't want to go to the Cleveland Browns. They have terrible ownership. That's what I'm trying to point out. With everybody saying, fire Todd Bowles, it's about not repeating that history. Because again, when you fire John Gruden for having what he did, when you fired Raheem Morris, who did you get for Raheem Morris? You got Greg Schiano. That didn't work out. You got Lovie Smith. That didn't work out. You got Dirk Cutter. That didn't work out until you got BA to have some, stabilize it with, of course, Tom Brady. And then you got Tom Bowles. I think the Glazers have learned from their mistakes. And you go back into history and you look at it, the great organizations, the continuity standpoint, they keep their coaches around no matter what's going to happen. You look at Green Bay right now. A lot of people are calling for Matt LaFleur's job. Why? Because he lost to the Bears, because that offense was not productive in the second half, because he looks like a choke artist. And he's 3-6 in the postseason. But you look at his overall record, it's insane, because if the Packers fired him tonight, there would be 31 other teams, including the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that would be interested in him. True or false, Harry?
No, absolutely true. But the only thing that it comes with is a little bit of baggage with LaFleur, because it's very well known when there's smoke, there's fire. He has heat right now with Jordan Love. How do you think that would end up here in Tampa with Baker Mayfield and that attitude? That would be really interesting, to be honest with you. I'm not a huge LaFleur fan.
Well, I think the situation is, though, again, you go back to the postseason record. That's what people look at. It may be unfair because the first 2 years he was in the NFC Championship game. You get blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. And, of course, you lose to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you look at that, ever since then, you have regressed as a coach. That's what they're looking at. But, again, he's a talented coach. Now, it falls on Jordan Love. Is this the best you're going to see out of Jordan Love? You watch the game. It's all about what? An offensive coach, an offensive coordinator. That's where the league is going. Your quarterback play. And if your quarterback play dips and you're not productive enough, especially in that second half versus the Bears, and you're not been productive enough throughout the years, then, of course, people are going to look to make changes. Let's go out to the comments here. We'll talk more about this coaching situation. But let me ask you, who is the right hire, in your opinion, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of this list here? Is it Schulhaus? I think I'm pronouncing his name correctly. The young Rams pass coordinator. Is it Todd Monken? Is it Zach Robinson? We haven't talked about Cliff Kingsbury. I haven't heard any word from him. Mike McDaniel, Brian Daboll, Callahan
and Kingsbury. You get one of those two. And our team.
Why those guys? In your opinion,
they're veterans, because you know what? They truly love both aspects of the game, from the passing game to the running game. They rely on both of them. They're not one dimensional. They don't want to run, pass, run, pass, or pass, run. That sounded like a typewriter there for a minute, but I think everybody gets the gist of exactly what I mean by that. They both bring. And you know what? They can also bring different aspects of the game. Both of those coordinators will design offensive game plans to the players that they have. It's not the players that have to adjust to their game plan. They adjust their game plan to the players.
We'll get out to the phone lines in a moment, but you made this point last year when Liam Cohen was the offensive coordinator. You didn't think he ran enough. You were correct in that assessment, because you look back at that game versus the Washington Commanders. It looked like he gave up on the run, not necessarily his best offensive coordinated game, if you will, only scoring 20 points. Yes, that's on Liam Cohen. And then yesterday, you only run the ball 14 times with Travis Etienne. And of course,
with a running back like Travis,
right?
Let's be clear, that's
right. And you put the onus on Trevor Lawrence, and it doesn't necessarily work out, because he's 18 for 30, 207 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So there's weak spots with an offensive coordinator, and you feel like you've definitely got to get a mix. Yes, you're going to throw the ball. Yes, you have all these weapons, but you've got to establish this running game, and that's probably the most difficult thing to understand, besides the fact Bucky Irving got hurt and you had 2 guards out. You have to get this running game back. And I think that definitely plays into the factor of where the Bucs are going to go when it comes to an offensive coordinator candidate.
Pete, I got to tell you, man, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this past season, have actually, and if I'm not mistaken, you can look up the statistics. I
Mhm.
think they probably have about 100 more pass attempts than they do rushing attempts. And everybody was complaining that this current OC was running the ball too much. But that's just not the case. You've got to be 60-40, 60% run, or 55-45, 55% run, 45% pass. Whenever you tip that scale the other way around, you're not giving your defense a rest. So, I mean, you've got to run the ball a little bit more than you're passing.
I agree. I do, and
Hey,
sometimes
can
getting
you
pressure.
put me in the back for a
Yeah,
second?
put you in the back room. Let's go out to the phone lines here. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's up, Peter? This is Tristan.
What's going on, Tristan? How do you feel about what's gone on and what's transpired here the last less than a week? Because we didn't get a chance to go live here with this, but all the coaches being fired besides, again, Todd Bowles, George Edwards, Larry Foote. You fire offensive coordinator. You're looking at offensive coordinator interviews, looking to hire a new special teams coach. I mean, how do you feel about this? Is this the right thing to do when it comes down to it? And then on top of it, what type of offensive coordinator would you like for this Bucs team right now?
Okay, question says I'll walk it down. Special teams coordinator, I have no problem with the firing. Unpopular opinion, I don't think Grizzard is as bad as people are saying that he was. Like I said, if you look through weeks 1 through 6 of this offense last year, we were top 5 in almost every statistical category, even with the injuries. After that, I believe Baker Mayfield was injured after game 7, went over 200 yards 3 times in the final 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that that's Grizzard. I think that Baker Mayfield got Grizzard fired. And I think that that's something.
I had no problem with Grizzard. I'm with this caller. I didn't have a problem with Grizzard. Me personally, he was just a person that had to fall because of what happened to the team this year. I think if they would have gave this young man one more year under this, I think you'd have seen a different team in the offense in that year. I think a lot of the focus should have been concentrated on what the defense was lack of doing, and just what the injuries. I think a combination from injuries and what the defense did is the reason why this guy got fired. And it's just not fair. But again, that's just my opinion.
Well, I think also you look at it, the Bucs were finally healthy. They get their weapons back, although they're not healthy on the offensive line, and you score less points. So a lot of people are looking at it 6-2 start. You have big time numbers. You're feeling good about yourself. And then Baker gets hurt. Your offensive line gets hurt. You got weapons coming back and you score less points. I think that's what a lot of people were looking at, saying, well, this is the reason why you should fire him. But it would be nice to keep that continuity. We're talking about continuity with the coaching staff. It would be nice to keep a Josh Grizzard. But the problem is, what if it doesn't work out? What if it blows up in your face? What if it gets even worse when it comes to this offense? And I think that's, again, that's where it goes. You got to change your offensive coordinator once again. Baker Mayfield has to have another new offensive coordinator, and we'll see, how that works out for this offense. You got to score more points than. Because if your defense is giving it up and your defense is not able to stop anybody, you got to depend on your offense. And really, you couldn't depend on your offense. Your offense let you down. Baker Mayfield let you down, whether he was hurt or not.
He's been hurt. You know that, Pete. You watch the games. The guy's been playing literally on one leg the entire season.
I agree.
I just need to circle back to my comment about the Lightning.
Yes.
There's a comment in here where it says, I love the Greek, but what I said about the Lightning, look, I didn't mean to be disrespectful about him. I'm just tired of seeing this team with the expectations going into the playoffs completely just get run out of town. That's all I'm inferring to. I want this team to win a Stanley Cup, but what I've watched just the past couple of years was just horrific, man. It's just, I want to see them do this for the playoffs.
Well, I think it comes down to, again, the Florida Panthers being a much better team, being a much younger team, being a much athletic, more physical team this year. So we'll see when the proof hits the pudding. You make a great point.
But they are exciting to watch right now.
They are exciting to watch. We'll see what they do in the postseason, and we'll see what they do in this rest of the regular season. Tristan, what else, my friend? Well, who do you want to see them hire?
Well, as far as the hiring goes, it's double-edged sword here. The first side of the sword said, me personally, I think Cliff Kingsbury is a prime hire right now.
I like him.
Probably one of the least about names right now, which I think we should really be reaching out to. The second part of the conversation we're looking for, OC, is are we looking for OC to continue to work with a 33-year-old coming off an injury, Baker Mayfield, or are we looking for OC to come in and develop a quarterback? It's very important to point out that considering what Bowles went through this year and Baker Mayfield being in a contract year, I think they're kind of tied at the hip next year.
Well, I think we all agree he's only 30 years old at this point. It seems like he's been in the league longer, but he's only 30 years
Baker's
old.
32.
No, I'm looking right now on the statistics here. He's 30 years old. April 14, 1995. He's 30 years old. He'll be 31 in April. And I think it's definitely tied to Baker Mayfield. And I think he would have some say in what this Bucs team does when it comes to choosing an offensive coordinator. And of course, I think they're tied at the hip. I think they're all tied at the hip at this point. You're not going to go and get a rookie quarterback. You're not going to. This team has difficulty with developing quarterbacks in general. Why would you turn the page on a quarterback that, listen, he has his faults. We've talked about it over and over again when it comes to the turnover situation, when it comes to, living to fight another day. You would like him to protect himself. I think that also comes down to the offensive line. You just never foresee having as many injuries to that offensive line as you had this year. So that definitely played a factor. But Baker has his faults, but he is your franchise quarterback. That's who you're going with. You're not turning the page.
I can't say that, Peter. I can't say that.
Well,
I cannot
well,
say
why
that.
can't you say Baker Mayfield is the guy that you're going with at this point?
Well, anytime you see a number one overall draft pick on his fourth team, post at within 3 years of within 4 years of his initial of his renewed contract with Cleveland, it's some questions that has to go around Baker. Like
I'd like this one
something
too.
clearly was wrong. Either he should have sat down this year and took one for the team and let Teddy Bridgewater take some of the flack, or he should have played better. There's no excuse with these weapons, regardless of the case, for a guy in the NFL to throw for less than 200 yards 6 out of the last 9 games. There's no way you can tell me that that's quality quarterback play.
No, and you're absolutely correct, and that's a great point, but I want you to look at it from the other side of the glass being half full rather than being half empty. You are correct. There's no excuse for it, but I'm going to give you an excuse. It's called 5 different offensive linemen went down. Number 1. Number 2, this man has never gone 3 consecutive years and been able to stay healthy. And number 3, you can blame your coaching staff for this to happen. I know they didn't throw the football, but someone has to have the cojones and turn around and look at Baker and say, bro, you got to sit. And they didn't do that. Okay. They didn't do that, just like they did that in Cleveland. They almost wrecked this young man's career. But you mentioned Teddy Bridgewater. Sir, I would rather have you line up under center than bringing Teddy Bridgewater back.
No.
Oh, come on now.
Okay. I'm not kidding you. That guy is horrible right now. They never, you know what the bottom line is, Pete? Bring on the hate mail. You never should have let Kyle Trask go. Not because he's better than Baker, but let me tell you something. You didn't know what you had, but I promise you he would have been better than Teddy Bridgewater looking out there like an 80-year-old man. The guy couldn't throw the ball. Sorry.
He got picked up by no teams, so I don't know.
I understand that, but you know what? I would have thrown him out there before I brought Teddy in there. Peter, you're famous. You know what you're famous about, Peter, saying? You know what you always say? You're bringing him in for his leadership. Well, where the hell did the leadership bring him? To an 8-9 ball club.
Harry, I don't think that nobody on the offense believed in Trask. Nobody back now when Trask got cut. Nobody pounded the table for this guy. Nobody said, "What are we doing?"
Is that Ray calling in?
It is.
You want to have the caller stand by and put Ray on hold. Let him know he's on hold just for a second.
Stand by, Tristan. Stand by here. Ray, you're going to have to hold the line here. We'll go
just for 1 second, Ray. We're coming right to you, buddy.
All right.
Are you there, sir?
Go ahead, Tristan. Finish up.
Yeah. But like I was saying, I don't think that the guys cared too much for Trask. And that's why Teddy Bridgewater was able to come in and be a little, just by charisma alone, be able to get the nod by the guys over Trask just based on the likability factor. I just didn't see nobody vibing with Trask like that, to where it was like usually the backup quarterback is the most popular guy in the locker room. I didn't see that with Trask over his 3 years of being here. And the fact that he was the understudy of Tom Brady, that was his job to take. There should have never been room for Baker Mayfield to come in and take that job from Trask.
Well,
listen, you know what? Again, the guy's got a valid point. But wouldn't you rather have had somebody that you don't know anything about than a guy that we do know about that hasn't thrown a football and is older than us? Come on, man.
Well,
I felt like Randy Moss. Come on,
negative
man.
if Baker Mayfield doesn't sit down. Like if Baker sits down and Bridgewater comes in and plays horribly, Baker doesn't take all of the flack, and we don't raise no eyebrows at Baker.
That's true. We got to get to this next call, man.
All right, Tristan, appreciate the call.
Tristan, man, thanks, bro.
All right.
No problem, yo.
All right, man.
That guy's awesome.
He is.
That guy was awesome.
Let's go out to this guy right here.
Mr. Kennedy!
All right. Best of the Bay, Tampa Bay, Ray Kennedy. Welcome to the Evolution. You're on with yours truly, alone with Harry the Greek professional handicapper extraordinaire on a playoff Monday night. Nobody's told me the score right now. I heard it's a
7-6, and Houston threw an interception deep in Pittsburgh's territory.
Wow.
Pittsburgh's playing them tough, buddy. Let me tell you something. What's up, Ray?
That Houston, brother Harry and Peter, great show tonight, man. You guys are loving it. I'm loving it. But don't make no mistake. Houston's defense is rock solid, but Aaron Rodgers is a Hall of Fame quarterback on a team that's really trying. It's still 7-6. The game's pretty much in doubt. But I want to go back to what Tristan just said. And that was a great call, by the way. But Peter, props to you for knowing, of course, that Baker is 30 years of age. Feels like he's 43 because a guy coming out 2018, he goes to the Browns, they ruined him. He's been on 72 teams. But I want to but it's true. But I want to point out, though, is that you got Nick Kolitz. He's the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. He's a Sean McVay guy. You got Sean McVay guy. You got, Grizzard. You got
Showhouse.
At what point do we go, and Harry and Pete, I'll ask you guys this because we're both, the three of us combined, we're 150 years old. At what point do you start going, wow, the entire league is getting Mouse Davis with the run and shoot. Maybe it's time to look for a similar offense. So everyone's talking about hiring from the McVay tree, which, by the way, going back to Mike Shanahan, going back to Terrell Davis and John Elway, one of the most comprehensive and in-depth offenses using the running game and the zone blocking on the offensive line. But maybe we saw this year with the injury to Tristan Wirfs, the injury to Bucky Irvin, the injury to Mike Evans, the clavicle, we realized the entire league, 32 teams, are starting to figure out how to use their personnel to stop this run and shoot. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad deal, but you go back to the Saints game in week 12, you go back to the time the Bucs have had problems closing games out or getting 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Maybe it's time to start going with a hybrid type of an offense, which maybe the next OC is from the McVay tree, but maybe he doesn't have to be. Because guys and girls, remember, this league goes back 140, 120 years to Curly Lambeau, to who was it, Harry? With the Bears, Papa Hallis. This league's been around for over 100 years. It's not just all about Mike Shanahan or Kyle Shanahan, the run and shoot with the 17 receivers and crossing patterns, but no running game and zone blocking. Maybe it's time to think outside the box. You kept your OC and Todd Bowles. You kept your head coach, or DC, I'm sorry, but you got a team. You got the locker room. Everybody's like, where from the McVay tree can we pull? Maybe it's time to think outside the box, because as the rest of the league, as the other 31 teams are figuring out how to stop the McVay tree or Shanahan tree, maybe it's time to just think 3 yards, caught of dust, good passing game, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, you got this, you got that. I'm so tired of hearing people say, who's the next tree from McVay we can hire? And I mean, I'm sorry for rambling. It's a great game tonight. I feel tonight this Aaron Rodgers performance for the Steelers against this great defense and D'Amico Ryans, it's actually like almost what we have with the Bucs and Todd Bowles. And we're fighting with some of these 17-year-old Bucs fans that want to fire a coach every year because you didn't make the Super Bowl. It's like, Aaron Rodgers may win this. Sometimes the turtle beats the rabbit.
Yeah, what I'm watching right now, that is an absolute possibility. They're down 7-6, 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Aaron Rodgers is running now 1st and 10 with his offense. I'm not kidding you. What I'm watching is really impressive. And he just hit someone for a 25-yard pass like it was nothing with pressure in his face. This is absolutely incredible. And I am not everybody knows I hate Aaron Rodgers, but you have to respect the man for what he's done.
Well, guys, what's it say from Mike Tomlin? He gets the most out of his players because you didn't see this from Aaron Rodgers last year.
This is the best I've watched Pittsburgh this year, Pete.
Everybody complains about Tomlin and his postseason record. You haven't won a playoff game, I think, since 2016. for them. They haven't won a Super Bowl in a long time. They want to fire him, but he's the most consistent coach, gets the most out of his players. And listen, if I have my druthers, and it's no big secret out there, I think the Glazers' biggest mistake was letting Mike Tomlin out of that building. So if there's any opportunity.
But you didn't. Honestly, who in the world would have thought that Mike Tomlin was that kind of coach when he was just a coordinator? Nobody. And you can't say that.
You're up on this.
Hindsight is 2020. We can't live in the past.
I agree.
I would never have gotten rid of
always successful with the Bucs, successful with the Minnesota Vikings, got his opportunity with the Pittsburgh Steelers, did some great things, and he's one of the most consistent coaches, and yet there are still fans out there of the Pittsburgh Steelers. We've seen him, Ralph Williams, the bodyguard of the Burg, who wants to get him fired, and this is what it goes back to. Do you want to be the Pittsburgh Steelers? Do you want to have the continuity? I get it. You're not going to win a Super Bowl every year, but the Kansas City Chiefs are not going to win a Super Bowl this year. The Philadelphia Eagles are not going to win the Super Bowl this year. Huh?
Well, who's the new head coach for your Baltimore Ravens?
Who knows at this point? Was John Harbaugh.
Who knows? But remember now, a year or two from now, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe they win the Super Bowl in 2026, but a year from now, when the Ravens are mediocre or bottom of the pack because the AFC North is stronger, people are going to go, man, do we wish we had John Harbaugh and that consistency? Because, guys, the thing is, you can't judge a Todd Bowles on an 8-9 season on a competitive NFC South that's getting better. You can't just say, well, that guy, and he has been hanging on by the skin of his teeth, but go the other route. As you go to develop a new system, if that ends up being the system that works, it takes 2 to 4 years to develop, unless you got Caleb Williams as rookie quarterback, Ben Johnson. I'm doing that for you, Harry. But the truth of the matter is, everybody's like, get rid of all this. At the end of the day, sometimes consistency wins the race, like Aaron Rodgers with the Pittsburgh Steelers on a not supposed to have a chance against the Houston Texans on a Monday night.
Yeah, his first year right now, he's been able to stay healthy and he's been able to stay consistent. And once again, it goes back to Tomlin. You know, you're going to play for that coach. You're not going to deal with his attitude.
And
that was
man. Pittsburgh's defense is pretty damn good too, man.
It's always good. That's what they base it on. They're always good when it comes to defense. They can run the ball, they can play defense, and now they got a quarterback that can manage the game and still make some great throws, and you're getting the most out of them. So it's good stuff.
Can I finish one thing?
Sure.
Finish one thing. First of all, great show.
Thank you.
Going back to Tristan's call.
Yes.
He was saying the right thing, but he was saying it the wrong way. It's not a question of whether Baker Mayfield's a franchise quarterback. He is a franchise quarterback, but is he the guy who's going to get a $250 million 4-year deal a year from now or earlier? He's not going to get an earlier contract because I think Jason Light figures, you know what, roll with this. Let him play his next year in his $33 million contract, and we'll figure it out for 27. But yet he's not a franchise quarterback. But here's the thing, and this is what Harry and you and Peter and you and I have been arguing all this offseason with all these Bucs fans that want to just throw out the bathwater with the baby, is that Aaron Rodgers is succeeding tonight, not because because DJ Metcalf had a huge drop earlier, not because the Texans aren't a better team. It's because the other 52 in the locker room believe in that 53rd person in Aaron Rodgers, the Hall of Fame MVP quarterback, just like the Buccaneers still believe in the Todd Bowles as their coach in this locker room. So, guys, fire him, run him out, get a new guy. Let's go for the splash. But remember, for those of us diehards that are above the age of 50, sometimes consistency is more important than what the splash might be. Love you guys. Great show.
Hey, man, good stuff. You absolutely killed that call. And
yeah, really.
He brings up a great point. That locker room will still play for Baker Mayfield. They will still go when their backs are against the wall. They'll play for him. Yes.
I just want to say one thing. He says, would he have commanded a $250 million contract? Yeah, he would have. Because if he played the second half of the season and this team was healthy, like they did in the first half of the season, you bet your ass he would have been a $250 million quarterback. Because if the Bucs weren't going to pay him, that's someone in the National Football League would have. He would have definitely got paid. Not saying he didn't get paid, but he was getting a huge payday if he would have had a solid year. Peter?
Yes.
I'd love to hang around.
I know you will.
I've got a lot of vested interest in this game. It's going to be going into the fourth quarter. I got a lot of players that are dependent on me. But you know
Give me some final thoughts here, man.
I got some final thoughts. I just want to shoot out some love to my boy Tom Banner out there. Tommy, I know you're freezing your ass up there in Chicago. I know you want to say go Bears, but be careful what you wish for. I'm not really happy with what Ben Johnson did anywhere. But you know what? The Greek went 8 for 9 and 9 for 10 in all his picks between college and the pros, picking against the spread and the over-under. If you want some picks, we didn't get a chance to do it again, but you can go ahead and DM me, and I'll be more than happy to do it for you. As I always say, keep your bets low and your returns high. Much love, Pete.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll come back on Wednesday and do it, my friend. All right.
And you know what? Go Rays and go Lightning. Is that good?
Yes. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
See you later, guys.
All right, there you go. Harry the Greek, professional handicapper extraordinaire. Let's go out to Ed using your second call. Ed, go ahead.
Hey, I'm sorry to cut you short. I got a little busy at work.
It's all good. It's all good, man.
But anyways, I was listening to part of Tristan's call. You know, they all want to like point the finger at Baker, but Baker played a hell of the first half of the season. And then he had to deal with a lot of second and third string, sometimes fourth string players on the offense.
Mm-hmm.
Can't put that all on him. I think he did a great job this season. Was it enough to give him, you know, his $40-50 million per year contract? Probably not. But I think he played pretty damn good, especially for being on his 6th or 7th OC, who wasn't really that good.
Well, it's been longer than that. I think it's like his 9th OC or something along the lines. 9th OC, this could be his 10th OC. I mean, that's crazy to think about. A young quarterback, still young, you know, 31 years old in April, 30 years old at this point. I mean, we know that it can hinder somebody's development when it comes to a young quarterback and hasn't been able to do. And I think it's one of the reasons why Baker has been, you know, somewhat in his career inconsistent at times, because he's had so many offensive coordinators and so many systems. And that's the danger of hiring and firing coaches. It's the danger of hiring a new offensive coordinator every year. And here we are once again with the Bucs doing that. So we'll see how it works out. But I think,
are we doing that?
Yeah, Baker's.
No, we had to get rid of We had to get rid of Gazard.
You're hiring another offensive coordinator at this point.
I know.
You got to get it right.
I know.
It's a big hire at this juncture. Who would you like to see?
They need to get somebody who's familiar with Baker. And somebody who was in that tree, you know.
No, I'll tell you the name. Todd Monken. He's familiar with Baker Mayfield.
Todd Monken?
Yeah, Todd Monken. Yeah.
Well, then why don't we go get him? What are we waiting for?
They're doing their due diligence at this point. They're interviewing everybody. That's the way you got to do it. You've got to go out there. You've got to study. You've got to get to know all these candidates and see if they're right, if they're right for your job, if they're the right offensive coordinator, if they fit what you want to do. And we'll see here in the next couple of weeks what the Bucs are going to do here with hiring the new offensive coordinator. What else, Ed?
It will be definitely interesting. The other thing I want to say is that the defense wasn't getting off the field, which wasn't really giving a lot for the offense. It takes 22 players to win a football game. And if your defense is playing bad, your offense doesn't get a lot of time to get things done. They don't get field position. A lot of things go into play here. So I don't know why people are ready to throw away a perfectly good quarterback. I mean, the guy played hurt. In my opinion, the guy would have probably had an MVP season if we didn't get so injured on offense. He probably would have been the MVP.
I think it's a good point. I mean, if you don't get injured, he had to deal with multiple injuries, whether it was his knee, whether it was his oblique, whether it was his shoulder. I mean, you deal with all those injuries, and then on top of it, you're missing your offensive linemen, and that is the key. And I continue to go back to this. People go, well, you're missing your wide receivers. Okay. You're missing your running back. Okay. But you're missing your offensive line. That's the stability of your team. That's where you build the team when it comes down to it with your offensive line, especially your guards, with Tristan Wirfs being out. I mean, there's a lot of injuries this year. Hopefully they're able to snap back and you don't have those injuries. And then on top of it, Jason Light drafts more depth, because if you do have those injuries next year, at least you'll be prepared. Ed, appreciate the call.
I'm not worried about his drafting.
Well,
I know he's going to be good.
There's some people out there that don't like Jason Light, don't like how the way he's drafted. But
I
Ed,
like him.
I appreciate the call as always. We'll see you on
the door. All right, thanks, bro. Go Bucs.
All right, man. Go Bucs. He says, go Bucs. Go Bucs. Go Bucs. All right, we'll read these comments again. YouTube super chats are open if you want to give to the content. If you like the content, give to the content. And of course, friend me on Facebook Stars, Peter H. Blake, right there. Of course, this show brought to you by Tampa Joe's, 9316 Anderson Road. The Eagles are out, the Bucs are out, but if you want to go there, have some wings, watch some football, definitely get out there. And home of the Sports Web and the upcoming season, we'll definitely work on Bucs away watch parties and, of course, USF away watch parties. And then I'd be remiss not to mention these people. That'd be Up the Block Barber Shop. Go to my favorite barber, Mr. Ricky there. You don't have to go far. It's up the block. In fact, let's go ahead and play the commercial really quick. Give my voice a little break, and then we'll come back, read more comments, and take your phone calls here on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Enjoy. Up the Block Barbershop. You don't have to go far. It's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Whether it's a haircut, a beard trim, a fade, they got you covered. Go see my favorite barber, Ricky, and all the great barbers there at Up the Block Barbershop. Tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. Again, it's Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road. Let's go out to the phone lines. Broadway, you're on the evolution of Sports Talk Television live here at Raymond James Stadium after your Bucs fall to 6-3. Go. All right, so there you go. Up the Block Barbershop, 4946 Moog Road in Holiday, Florida. Once again, tell them the Rolex reporter, Peter Blake, sent you. This is how I get cynical. Okay, I'm going to keep on reading some of these because I didn't read all the comments here. Ed said the lines were open. You didn't pick up the phone. What's bucking? What about that A.J. Brown drop? Yeah, a lot of drops yesterday. I'll let Harry get off about his football, then I'll call in. All right. You know what? I'm not going to go out to the phone lines right now. I'm going to continue to read comments. Phone lines are open. Philly fans are going crazy over that. They are. Wow. Whoa. Now I'm being disrespectful. It's fine, Harry. Let's go out. Okay. Joe Sway, if you don't like the content, then stop watching the show. You came across disrespectful. Got to reword what you say better. Paris says Bears are going to have home field advantage this weekend. Less than 10 inches, and the Rams are a dome team. They're done. We'll see. That's definitely a home field advantage. That's the reason why you want home field advantage, especially in those elements. Can't believe the Bucs interviewed Falcons former offensive coordinator Zach Robinson. Karma. I didn't know Harry can own Peter's show. Damn, that's crazy. Paris says A.J. Brown had 2 big drops, and shaking my head, calling all year for the ball. The biggest game, you dropped the ball. That's been a big time story, and we'll see if he stays there in Philly. I believe he had a conversation with the owner. He's had all kinds of problems the last couple of years, but once again, this goes back to the offensive coordinator. This goes back to the offense. How can you forget about A.J. Brown? He's a mismatch nightmare. You have the opportunity to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball, make plays. But I understand Brown's. I understand his point also because he hasn't been involved with the offense all year long. But then again, have the opportunity to make a catch. You got to make those catches. Big time drops for the Philadelphia Eagles. Exactly, Harry. That's why I don't like Liam Cohen. I liked watching A.J. Brown drop the ball. I think a lot of Bucs fans like to see that. Bro, it was his first year, turned the entire Jacksonville organization around. The Jags offered me a head coaching job over an OC position. I'm taking it. It was bad the way he did it. That's for sure. Agree. Chris Cole says Cohen might be a one-hit wonder. He won't make the playoffs again. We'll see. Indiana is unstoppable. Agree. When's the next time you're live streaming on the road? Don't know. But ultimately, Glazers stuck with Bowles, and that's how it's going. Parrish says, congrats here on the Bears. I'm rooting for you, brother. I worked that Mud Bowl, by the way. I would not want to watch the Bucs against the Bears. Laugh out loud. Ben Johnson versus Todd Bowles sounds like a headache for Bucs fans in waiting. I can't hear Peter. Okay, we got that all taken care of. Peter, we can hear. Okay, I hear you. That's good. Thank you very much. Sometimes it just happens, out of the blue, something doesn't go right. There's something that's unplugged. There's something that's not pushed. And I go crazy myself because it's live television, but that's, we don't do anything pre-recorded here. Sometimes things go out. We just adjust. We adapt and overcome. Old Marine Corps boot camp saying motto from Parris Island, South Carolina, and you take that 45-inch step forward. I'd said the same thing here until the Glazers come out and make a statement. I'm not believing anything. Chris Cole, Tomlin would be epic. You are good. Thank you. Parrish says, I know you got to be thinking something with the 50th year anniversary. What a bust it was. It was not what a lot of Bucs fans envision. I know it's not what the Bucs organization in general envisioned for their 50th season. It's like Peter's sound is going up and down. You got to love that. Evening, Peter and Harry. Congratulations to Harry's Bears. Good luck the rest of the way. This is KR. Looking at potential OCs, who's the one who would fit this offense? Great question. I'm asking you tonight, Bucs fans, after the Rams-Panthers game. The Bucs had better get it together because, like Harry and I said at the beginning of the year, don't sleep on the Panthers. You were correct, Dave. Also, the Panthers may have found their Mike Evans and Ted McMillan. Boy, he looks like a clone of Mike Evans, and that's crazy to think. If he can have that consistency like Evans, he's got all the tools. He's on his way, and that would definitely be a nightmare for this Bucs defense. But that's the reason why you drafted Jacob Parrish in the first place, and that's the reason why you drafted Benjamin Morrison in the second year to defend players like that. Mr. Williams, it's your mic, sir. It may have been. Monken's old news. I picked Daniels over him. Plus, he said to us, he said no to us last time, and that would be Mike McDaniel. Everybody's saying McDaniels, Mike McDaniel. I understand. Peter's mic is great. Thank you. OG, go to bed. King Cook says, Peter, your mic is fine. Harry, no echo. Thank you. I can hear you both. Thank you. Jay Will says, your mic is good. OG is tripping. Peter, it sounds better now. Thank you, Van House Life. I still say fire Todd Bowles. You're able to say that, Van House Life. Peter's mic is fine, loud and clear. Chris Cole, I hear everything loud and clear. Good. I know the Greek had 3 heart attacks at least for the Bears game. I think a lot of Bears fans did, especially with the way that game started out. But once again, that team not giving up on their coach, not giving up on their players, being able to play it out. And then furthermore, credit to where credit is due. Dennis Allen is a defensive coordinator making those adjustments for his defense. That's not the most talented, but he's getting the most out of them. And that's where I see the point of a lot of Bucs fans saying, you know what, even though you don't necessarily have the talent, you got to get the most out of it, being Todd Bowles and that defensive staff. And you weren't able to do that last year. So I see both points of it. I do. Don't get me wrong. I do. I'm not a Todd Bowles apologist, but I do want to see you have that continuity. And I do believe that this team will play for him. And if they don't, then it will turn out like it was last year. And then you won't have to worry about it because the Bucs will clean house. I can assure you they will clean house. This is a big year when it comes down to free agency. This is a big year when it comes to the draft. This is a big year when it comes to identifying what offensive coordinator is going to work, what defensive coaches, what offensive coaches will work in these new offensive systems for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I would take Mark Andrews if we could get him over Otten. Tom Banner says Houston under 52.5 for a dime teaser with Harold. Van House Life, the Greek needs to visit a blood pressure doctor ASAP after the Bears game. No sodium for a week. What's Buckin, or he just runs with Derrick Henry? Can we hire Andrew Tate as our new offensive coordinator? No.
That's good enough to suck right there.
Peter, how's it feel not being in the playoffs because of Todd Bowles? It was just because of Todd Bowles. It wasn't the players themselves. It wasn't the fact that the defense couldn't stop the Atlanta Falcons. It wasn't the fact that the team as a whole couldn't beat the New Orleans Saints or the Atlanta Falcons. It was just on the coach. This is what I'm talking about with the fan base sometimes. You just blame it on the coach because it's easy and it's lazy to a certain degree. But, you know, at the end of the day, the players also have to look themselves in the mirror and they have to go out there and perform and execute. And it's not just on one coach. It's on everybody. Does it feel good to see other teams in the playoffs? Of course it doesn't. It feels different. Yes, he's my favorite. Thank you, Christopher Cole. Schillhouse is my favorite at this point. The Buccaneers coaching staff is basically okay. We're not going to go with political nonsense. Bucs will go 9-8 under Bowles next year. Van House Life would be crazy if the Bucs kept the Jags head coach and let Bowles go less next season. The ship is already sailed. Liam Cohen is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sorry to disappoint you, Bucs fans. And McDaniel looks like a pedophile, dresses like Freddie Mercury with an assist from Elton John. All right, Tom Banner, our new OC has a strong chance of being our next head coach. So we got to hit a home run with it. That's certainly possible. Russ Vaughn, thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you. Bucs signed too many guaranteed 3-year contracts. What does the Bucs money look like? That's why Todd is still here. Yeah, you had the contract extension. The reason why you had a contract extension, and of course there was talk And this is from Rodney Barber, WFLA TV, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and who's in that building, Russ. Money was definitely played a part in it. And the Bucs didn't, they've done it before in the past. The owners have paid those coaching extensions and hired new coaches. They didn't want to do it this time. And I get that. I understand it. Whether it's right or wrong or not, I definitely think it played a part in it. The Bucs salary cap is working out into their favor this year. So I would expect Russ and everybody else that Jason Light and this Tampa Bay Buccaneer organization would be more aggressive, and you have to be more aggressive. You have to go for the big shot. You have to go for the kill shot here. Whether it's Max Crosby, whether it's Trey Hendrickson, I don't have a problem with any of those, especially Crosby. I think that guy is a monster. If you have to give up a couple first-round picks to get him, that's what you do. If you have to address the linebacking situation and free agency, that's what you do. Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd come to mind. The Atlanta linebacker that was mentioned here on this show come to mind. Bring back John Gruden, not happening. Christopher Cole brawl after the Lightning game. 21 Parrish with Bowles leading this defense again. How are you going to expect change? Any other defensive coordinator would have been fired. Got to have some experience. Grizz showed us what happens with no experience. Tom Banner says, hey, Bucs fans, feel free to take away Ben Johnson. I'd be happy. I think there'd be a lot of Bucs fans that would absolutely take Ben Johnson off your hands. And I get it. Banner, you have some problems with him going for fourth down, some decision-making, but it has worked out in the Bears' favor. And one of the main reasons why the Bears are going somewhere and the Bucs are not is because of their head coach. And of course, this coaching staff believing, and also that locker room buying into what he is selling. That's what it also comes down to. That Bucs team in the second half of the year didn't buy in. And that was different. And that was disappointing because the team in the past has done that. When they have their backs against the wall, they'll play for Todd Bowles. And it certainly didn't look like they had the energy, the juice, whatever you want to call it, to go out there and win games. You can't go 2-7 at the bye week and expect to make the playoffs, even though you're one win away from doing that, as crazy as it sounds. What are the Rays doing this year? We'll see. Look how Harry gets disinterested when you talk about the Lightning. Peter shaking my head. He's the co-host. He can be disinterested all he wants to, but we will talk hockey on the show. We have talked hockey on this show. We've had our guys before on this program, and We the Thunder podcast, Shooter, and of course Schoolie come on here and talk Lightning, and we will do that in the future, I can assure you. Greek, our last Stanley Cup was 5 years ago. Agree. 3 straight Cup finals in recent memory. 3 years ago, they got beat by the champs. Last couple years, Harry, can you name 5 Lightning players? Josue, stop doing this. Let's give it up for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Absolutely. Eric says 10-game winning streak. Yes, CJ Stroud stinks. He's got big-time happy feet. I'll take that idiot play since you're playing under. Quit watching Jamie. Bring in Warren Sapp as the D-line coach. He's busy right now with Colorado coaching under Deion Sanders, so I don't think that's going to happen. I don't really care who the next OC is as long as they can come in and get our offense back to performing at optimal levels with the playmakers we have, period. I think that's fair. I love Greek, but what you said about the Lightning only being a regular season team is beyond an idiotic take. I think what he was talking about the last couple years here, getting beat by the Florida Panthers. But again, when the Lightning usually get to the postseason, they have lots of success. To be fair to the Greek, I definitely understand it. And I think there's Lightning fans out there who are definitely frustrated by the fact of not being able to get over on a team like the Florida Panthers. But let's face it, right now, the Florida Panthers are the class of the NHL because they're Stanley Cup champions. In order to beat the man, in order to be the man, you got to beat the man. Little Ric Flair reference. Woo! There you go. Trask said, Roger Shue says, what's up, gentlemen? What's up with you?
Acknowledge me.
Ray Kennedy said Trask, of course. Effing boom. King Cook, incorrect. Peter Trask got picked up by Atlanta. Yeah, but he's not starting. He got picked up as a practice squad, as a backup player. Come on. He's not in demand. He's not in demand quarterback. Teams are not lining up to sign Kyle Trask. I get it. There's all kinds of potential that was never lived up to. People will say, well, you never got a chance. Other teams out there seen his film, and they didn't give him a chance. It was the Atlanta Falcons, and they had him on his practice squad. Come on. The problem wasn't just Grizzard, it's Bowles, his philosophy. Asked Grizzard to run the ball more because of the defense being horrible. When they did run the ball, the defense was rested, still couldn't stop anything. Agree. What's well said, 100%. 21 Parrish, Trask was not the answer. King Cook, we don't know that. They never played him in the regular season. When they did in the preseason, he looked solid, better than Teddy, 2 gloves for sure. Steve Mike, so we know who might be our new offensive coordinator yet, not as of yet. Teddy probably, but to the promised land, I feel like he's a solid backup. King Cook, I'm not saying Trask would have took us to the chip, but he could have filled in nicely this season for Baker to rest up and get healthy. Tom says, my lord, is this Will Anderson a monster? He looks like a man playing against children. I mean, that's the reason why Houston has an opportunity to go far if their offense doesn't stop them, because you got edge rushers, which is what the Bucs need to have when you have a Danielle Hunter, when you have a Will Anderson, who is a man among boys. That's what they decided to draft him out of Alabama, get a CJ Stroud, get an Anderson, and it has paid off, especially when it comes to Anderson. 21 Parrish says true. Tom Banner says hate friggin' autocorrect. King Cook says Danielle Hunter wrecking shop tonight against Pittsburgh. We made no play for him in free agency. Laugh out loud. Boy, pressure bust pipes in the playoffs and all that. CJ Stroud hyped this regular season. Now he looks like he can't even play quarterback. Laugh out loud. Of course, soon as they say nice deep ball to Kirk, laugh out loud. Chris Cole, got to trust the process. Let it play out. See, you don't want to answer my call. That's crazy, because I'm going to read comments at this point, and then I'm going to get out of here because I want to watch the rest of this playoff game. So I'm sorry, Josue. Hey, Jason Lyon, that's why you use your first-round pick to get a guy like a Will Anderson, not a JTS or a Braswell or Logan Hall. Anderson is dominating this game tonight. To be fair to Jason Light, a player like a Will Anderson is going top 5. Winning the Bucs have had a top 5 pick. You're a victim of your success to a certain degree, right? You're picking in the middle to the bottom of the first round, so you're not necessarily able to get those primetime players like a Will Anderson. No excuse, but then again, you have to think about it. You want to get a talent like Will Anderson, you're going to have to draft in the top 5 or trade up, and that's going to take a lot. Correct me if I could be wrong, but how do the Glazers do Tony Dungy? How did the Glazers do Lovey? And didn't they give up a Super Bowl winning head coach so Tom Brady would stay? That's true. I was supposed to be mad at the OC, didn't want to be a head coach, got offered more money somewhere else to leave. Don't we always say this is business? It may be business, but there is a proper way to do business. And to that point, when you get rid of a Tony Dungy and you give up of 2 first rounds and 2 second round picks, it pays off for John Gruden. But then what do you have after that? You Bucs fans wanted John Gruden fired, and he was fired. What did you do after that? How many winning seasons did you have after that? I'm sorry. I think that definitely plays a factor in where the Glazers are thinking. So while everybody's screaming at the top of the rooftops to fire a Todd Bowles, they're thinking about their previous mistakes. And maybe you didn't think it was a mistake at the time, but what did they do with Raheem Morris? What did they do with Greg Schiano? What did they do with Lovie Smith? What did they do with Dirk Cutter? Until they got Bruce Arians. Everybody wants to fire the coach because you got a guy like Liam Cohen who was right there, and the Bucs tried to keep him as the highest paid offensive coordinator. And what did he do? He lied through his teeth. That's not the way to do business. And whether you like my opinion or not, I'm going to state it. Because I was trolled all week long from Bucs fans about how great Liam Cohen was. And guess what? He's one and done, just like Todd Bowles is.
I'm straight out the suck right there.
I don't care. I don't give a damn if he had this team at the Jacksonville Jaguars at 13 wins and win a division. Guess what? It doesn't matter because he didn't go any further than what Todd Bowles did the last couple of years. But yet the same energy by this Bucs fan base is all over me and all over Todd Bowles because he can't get out of the first round. Keep the same damn energy when it comes to Liam Cohen. Thank you very much. Dang, it would be awesome to have 2 edge rushers like the Texans. It would be. And that was the best show yet so far when you have a job hockey guy is on. That's your opinion. Another great show. I mean, I think David, even though me and Dave go back and forth, he's watched this show for a long time. I don't think there's a lot of disappointed fans on this show, Josue. You're the one that's always complaining. Man, At least you said sorry. That's fine. It was mostly football web with a sprinkle of sports. Not too bad, Peter. Good luck. Next show. Harry, great show tonight. Go Bolts, go Rays, and go Bucs. Love it. Go Bears. Let's go out to David. I didn't want Gruden to be fired. Well, there were some fans out there, David, who wanted Coach Gruden fired, and he was. It's not coaching. That was my Bucs point. Good night. And then King Cook says business in America has some sort of line going on. Just saying. It may. And I feel a certain way about it that I didn't like how it was done. That's my opinion. I have the right to say that. Just like you have the right to not agree with me. That's the great thing about the sports web. That's the reason why this show will continue to go on. Whether you say I got the views or not, you'll always tune in. Why? Because you have the opportunity to talk Bucs football. You will always tune in because why? You have the opportunity to talk Tampa Bay Lightning when we have guests on anytime you want to. You'll always have the opportunity to talk Tampa Bay Rays. You'll always have the opportunity to talk playoff football when it comes to the NFL or when it comes to college football. I've never said to anybody on this show, let's not talk about it. The only thing I've ever said is when we're talking about this certain subject when it comes to the Bucs offensive coordinators, why change that to basketball? Why go out to left field? Like, I get it. You want to change the show or whatever else, but if everybody's feeling that subject at the flow, if that flow is going in a certain direction, why change that subject? I'm giving the fans what they want. I'm giving the Tampa Bay sports fan, I'm giving the Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan what they want. If it's not what they want, then nobody would be tuning in, and I wouldn't have a show. I'd be sitting here talking to myself, which a lot of people think I'm crazy anyway, and I may be. But I'm crazy about you, and that's the reason why we have the show in the first place. So I appreciate it. Parrish says, great show, PB. Bucs for life. Love it, man. Thank you. Brightside Broadway. Thank you, Peter. You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to the Greek right there. Aaron Rodgers got hit so hard after the game, he's going to need to get another retreat. King Cook. Peter, I love you, man. I respect your opinion, buddy. Salute to you. That's what it comes down to.
Oh, yeah.
We have opinions. We go back and forth. It's nothing personal. I disagree with some of you. You disagree with me. But guess what? You come back because why? You have a voice. You have an opportunity. I don't hang up on you. I don't ban you. Even when you piss me off, I still don't ban you. Even Joe Sway, even though he doesn't like the show, he'll still come back. He'll complain. Guess what? We'll welcome him with open arms. Maybe Harry, but I will. Because I appreciate it. I appreciate the difference of opinion. No matter what you guys say when it comes to firing Todd Bowles 30 times a day, 30 times a night. Van House life, I'm talking to you. It doesn't matter. You always come back, don't you? You better hurry up and end the show, Peter. There's only 7 minutes in the game. I wasn't around last week to get everything off about the Bucs, but I'll be working next season at Ray J. Very cool. And Rodgers looks like Brady's last year. Let's go out to Corey, and then we'll end it off here. Corey, welcome to the Evolution. What's on your mind tonight? The question of the night. What did you think of all the coaching firings? Is this the right move to make by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? And who do you want to see as the new OC of your Bucs? Welcome to the Evolution.
Yeah, Peter, what's up with you, man? I had to take a little hiatus after, sitting out there in all that rain, watching us win, and then all of a sudden not be able to get in the playoffs. You know, that was rough.
Yes.
Yeah, but Todd clean house because he wasn't gonna be the fall guy for anything. So.
Well, I mean, a lot of people, and again, I get it, the defensive coordinator, also the head coach, a lot of people want to see him fired, but I think it goes back to, again, the point of emphasis where the Glazers don't want to continue to make the same mistake over and over again where you're hiring and firing coaches. You want to have that continuity, whether you like it or not. He has won those division titles. He has had players when their backs are against the wall play for him. Maybe not last year.
Yeah, he's a player coach. He is
a player coach.
I don't got nothing against him, man. I feel like, Jason Light need to tighten up a little bit,
Well, Jason Light's got work to do. Let's face it. Yeah. I mean, this general manager's got work to do. You got to get an edge rusher. You got to get a couple linebackers. This team has to be ultra aggressive when it comes to spending money, and they'll have that opportunity, I believe, this year to restructure some deals and go all in, because at the end of the day, it is a year where you're going all in. As crazy as that sounds, Todd Bowles is coming back. Jason Light is coming back. We know the Glazers are not necessarily happy with what's going on. You know that the fan base is not happy with what's going on. You have these players. You have that window that's open. You have Baker Mayfield that's coming up on an extension. You have Mike Evans that's a free agent that you're going to have to re-sign and get that taken care of here. There are some veteran players on this team that have won a Super Bowl, but they are getting older by the year. So you got to start winning. You got to start trying to win playoff games, and you got to start trying to win another Super Bowl at this point. And if you don't, then everybody is going to be done with this Buccaneers organization.
I mean, truth be told, I'm kind of tired of Todd's scheme, man. All this, he try to be too cute for me, man. Listen, man, just go to a 4-2-5, get you 2 edges, man, and play out a 4-2-5, man. Start with all this 3-4 dropping linebackers in the flats and dropping defensive ends in the middle third and all that stuff, man. It's just too much. And these people, they not reacting, they thinking too much because your scheme is too complicated. You know what I mean? I'm sick of it, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of Bucs fans are sick of it. And you don't want to see Yaya Diaby 40 yards down the field. You don't want to see Anthony Nelson 40 yards down the field. But I will say this: there are defensive coordinators that have used, outside linebackers. I saw on Thanksgiving with Micah Parsons playing coverage. So there are moments that's happening. We just, as Bucs fans watching games, were more focused on it because those are the blown plays that you saw against the Buffalo Bills where you have
communication.
It is communication, and it continues to happen over and over again. So something has to change. Either it's the players, it's schematic, it's coaching. Something has to change. And again, if it doesn't change, then some heads are going to roll, and you're going to see some major changes. You're going to have to clean house, and I don't want to see it. I don't like to go through a rebuild, and I think that's the reason why you don't get a John Harbaugh in the first place, because even though he's a proven coach, you're going to have to get rid of a guy like a Jason Light who you've depended on throughout the years and you believe in to make his football decisions. I believe that's what the Glazers, the reason why you hold on to a Todd Bowles and you hold on to a Light in the first place.
I feel if we don't get Cosby, man, I'm going to be mad, man. If we don't go get Cosby, man, from the Raiders, I'm going to be mad.
Well,
man.
Max Crosby, not Max Cosby. No Bill Cosby here, but Max Crosby. I agree with you on that.
What he call that pill he be putting in the drink?
What was it? What was
Spanish fly? No Spanish fly.
Oh yeah, no Spanish fly. Yeah, none of that. Let's get Max Crosby, who has a constant motor, but it's going to cost you 2 first-round picks, maybe multiple picks, maybe multiple players.
We can wheel a deal.
Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do a deal like that? You're Jason Light. If you're a Bucs fan right now, looking at this from the standpoint of you've got to win this year, or else everybody is out, everybody's fired. Are you making that deal, Corey, for a Max Crosby? Yes or no?
Yeah. We got to do something, man.
Okay.
We don't get no pressure.
Yeah, you gotta get that pressure, man. We saw that with the Houston Texans tonight, right? With both of those talented pass rushers on the edges, man, they are monsters. I'm just listening to what you guys are telling me, and I'm imagining it in my head because I don't have a TV right now watching it. So I'm trying to get out of the show and watch the rest of this game before it ends. I'm curious to see what happens. What else, Corey?
Well, it looked like the Texans got that thing, man. But I'm gonna let you go so you can handle that, Peter. But man, no. One thing I want to know: who you think we go get for OC, man? And then I'll let it be in.
That is up in the air right now. I really don't know. What you hear is Todd Monken. I would say this, is he impressive enough? He's worked with Baker before, the Bucs organization, the Glazers, I think will have some say. I think Baker Mayfield will have some say. I go with the Cliff Kingsbury. I don't mind a Mike. I don't care how he looks.
I don't think him and Baker like each other.
Well, then if that's true, then I definitely think that would play a part in it, right? So I think that you're looking at your quarterback, whether you think he's a franchise quarterback or not. You're going to get some approval from him. You're going to go and see where he's thinking when it comes to an offensive coordinator, because you want to make sure that he's comfortable with, once again, another offensive coordinator that you're going to have to change on this team. So to answer your question, I said a Cliff Kingsbury, Todd Monken's being thrown out there, possibly a Mike McDaniel. Jeff Darlington of ESPN says, don't be surprised if he's interested. Why wouldn't you be interested? People go, why would you be interested in this job with the lame duck coach? Because every offensive coordinator, besides a Josh Grizzard, has had the opportunity to earn a head coaching job, whether it's with the Bucs or another team. So why would you not be interested? How could you not be interested when you have a Baker Mayfield and a Mike Evans and a Chris Godwin and a Mecca Ibuka and a Jalen McMillan and a Bucky Irving? Oh my, all those weapons. Do not be surprised that once again, this offense can turn it around, but you got to get the right offensive coordinator. To answer your question, I have no idea. I'm just going to let this play out. Throw some names out there again. Kingsbury, Monken, somebody like that.
All right, man. Hey, man, go be a hopefully a short off season, won't be too long, and sit back and watch it, enjoy the Super Bowl or whatever, and go Bucs, man.
Yeah, man, go Bucs. Love it, Corey. Appreciate the call. We'll see you on Wednesday night here on the Evolution. All right, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right, good stuff there. Let me go ahead. He said go Bucs, so go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
Fire the cannon!
Go Bucs. All right, we'll read the rest of these comments, and then we will get out of here for the night. Once again, appreciate you Bucs fans tuning in, the Tampa Bay sports fan tuning in. By the way, 10-game winning streak by your Tampa Bay Lightning. And then breaking news from JP Peterson about the stadium situation. Tune into his show tomorrow from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on all the great social media platforms, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, all that great stuff. He'll have all the facts as always because JP's the man. And that's why we collaborate with him on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Would you trade a first and Winfield Jr. for Crosby? That's a lot. It's getting rid of one of the top safeties in the league. And I know, he necessarily hasn't played well the last couple of years, whether it's injury or whatever else. That's a lot. I don't know about that. Good trade. Wow, defense won the game for the Texans. Roger, great show, Peter, and good night. So it looks like the game is over. Let's see what the score is at this point because I wanted to see it. So let's go ahead and see. Wow, 24-6. I thought it was closer than that. It was 7-6. Now it's 24-6 Texans. So all eyes will be on the Pittsburgh Steelers because there is talk of not only John Harbaugh losing his job with the Baltimore Ravens, but Mike Tomlin losing his job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Could that change things with the Bucs? And let's say Tomlin goes into the booth for a year. Because of what we know about the Glazers, would they make a move next year if it doesn't work out this year? I don't want to think about it, but I'm just throwing it out there. It's certainly speculation season when it comes to the sports web, and you can definitely speculate here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. Listening from Cali, thank you, PB. Ready for next season? I'm ready for next season. I'm ready for the draft. I'm ready for the combine. I'm ready for free agency. I'm ready for training camp. And we got you covered here when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and everything else, all Tampa Bay sports. Even better, Vita for Crosby. Get rid of Vita for Crosby. I don't know about that one. You don't want to ruin your defensive line. I like Vita. He's getting older, but that's a big guy in the middle there. You finally get him. He takes on that double and triple team. He frees it up for Crosby. You freeze it up for Yaya Diaby. I don't know if I'm going to trade him. We should have stole that Watt away from Pittsburgh. He is 0-5 in the playoffs. Damn. And then 21 Parish there in California. Let's make some moves. I agree. And we'll be here for, again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Thanks to Harry the Greek, of course, of the night being my co-host. We'll be back on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. 3 things. We'll keep it down. I think the roommates are sleeping. That's okay. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And for fans of the sports web and the Tampa Bay sports fan, especially you Go Bucs fans, it's your time. We'll see you next time on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. And as we always say on this show to end it off, Go Bucs.